Hello everyone, Hamas28 here, and today we're back with Seaopolis Submerged. So it turns out, you can automate the drying table into the drying table with a wooden hopper. That made making more paper a little bit easier, and we were able to craft the full diving set. That was pretty much the only thing I did in between episodes. Didn't really do too much else. Like I harvested a bit of wood so I could make the materials. I added a new strainer, over here, so we can make driftwood. But that's really about it. I didn't want to do too much off camera, and since the next episode I said was going to be exploring the water, I wanted to make sure we did all of that on screen. And now that we can collect our money for the diving gear, and it looks like we're going to have to go swimming for all of these materials. Gravel, dirt, sand, kelp, and clay. Which means I probably need a shovel to do some digging. And I think we have some cobblestone here, and let's grab some sticks and quickly make a shovel, and then head out. Now I'm not sure what kind of dangers we're going to face out there, so let me grab, probably should have made some food actually. And we have apples, and then we'll just eat the raw fish. Anyways though, there is a lot of sand, and it mentioned, ooh, that looks like a pirate ship or something. Anyways, let's see if we can go on in, and let's see. Ooh, visibility is actually really clear with the diving helm, which is really nice, and we can swim pretty easily. Now it does look like there are some mobs here, and it does look like we can swim at a pretty good pace. And we'll probably just have to ignore a lot of these like zombies, especially the ones with the tridents. What is hitting me? Oh, pufferfish. Gotta watch out for those guys. Now let's see. We can collect sand so I can make some glass, make a couple of tanks real quick. And as long as we avoid a lot of the drowned, we should be fine. Now it does look like we don't have too much oxygen to play around with, so we got to be a little bit careful. And luckily found some clay as well. That's really nice. And let's head back up real quick. Definitely seems like I'm going to have to build some kind of underwater structure just to preserve our oxygen, and I think the best way to do that would be through a door. Probably the best thing we can do here. So let's see, over here, grab some wood. Grab some more wood, do this, do that, and make some doors, because that should let me cheese some oxygen for us. And what else do we need? We're going to need some dirt and gravel. So let's head back down and do a little exploring. Ooh, that looks fancy. I feel like... what are they called? Those one guys. The Guardians, that's what they're called. I feel like this will have Guardians spawn. But we do have to check it out. Yeah, there are spawners here. Monster spawners with drowned. Let me see if I can turn this on. Which means there's probably some good loot. And looks like I'm right. Nautilus shells. I wish I could just grab everything all at once. Oh, spawner right there too. What's in here? Some more stuff. Definitely a good idea to check out these things. And let's swim back out, because I'm about to run low on oxygen. Let's go ahead and place a door and refill here. And it works as expected. Pretty good though. Can't go too far, because if I run out of doors, we're going to have a little bit of a breathing problem. And we do have access to cobblestone and a site. Looks like a little magma thingamabob. And is that gravel down there? That is. Let's go ahead and grab some of that. Looks like there's a couple of sharks. Not sure if they're hostile or not. So not sure if I have to avoid them. But I think that's everything we needed to grab. A single monument got us most of our items. If we take a look at the quest book. Oh, we do need dirt and kelp. I don't see kelp though. Let's see if we can find some dirt. And here we are, bit of dirt. We actually had a little bit of dirt from our loot box, but I'm going to grab a little bit more. And lastly, we need to find some kelp, which I don't see. Ah, over there. Lots of schools of fish, grab some kelp real quick, and then we can finish that off. But I do want to do a little bit more exploring around some of these ruins here to see what else we can find. Grab some kelp, we can always replant this nearby. What is that? A red warp pipe. Interesting. How do you use that? Will it warp me if I touch it? Huh, doesn't do anything. Do I have a... I do have a stone pickaxe. Warp pipe. I wonder how you use these. Because I know you can buy them, but I haven't seen what else they're used for. Now let's head towards this guy, see if we can find some more loot. There's also one right here. Probably gonna have some more spawners. But I do see a chest. Find an ocean quad, some more loot, torches, money, gunpowder. See, it looks like that one has a spawner on the bottom, spawner on the top, and drowns. Ruin pillager. Okay, grab all this. And take out this guy real quick. Yeah, this one has a lot of chests, so I want to definitely grab all this. Grab all of that, and we're mostly full. I do want the melon seeds, though. We'll leave... Oh, I can't leave that. Man, we're gonna have to make a backpack, because this is too much good stuff. Melon seeds. Probably don't need the cookies. I think that's everything here, by the looks of... Oh, what's hitting me? Oh, it's another drowned. Okay. Always hard to tell. Well, we can head back now. Now, where was our base? Ah, over there. I'm hoping we have enough oxygen to make it back, but so far, this exploration yielded quite good stuff. Should definitely check out some more of the monuments if we find any, but now we should be good to go. And now, using all of our materials, including all of the key fragments we got, I'm thinking we're gonna expand the base and start to build some stuff. Now that we have dirt and some seeds, we can definitely make a little bit of a farm. And what are these for? Interpearl fragments, home stone. What is this? Alright, now it's a lot less claustrophobic. A little ugly though, because I have to remove a bit of the walls up there. But I wanted to see if I could use a corridor key to actually build a corridor going straight down. And you cannot. Okay, that kind of kills my plan. Because I was thinking, oh, if I can make a corridor go straight down, then we could more easily access the ocean floor. But I do have the corridor key, so let's go ahead and expand the base this way, just to see what it looks like. And that's a large. 3 by 3 by 9. 1, 2, 3. Huh, that's kinda disappointing. I thought it was gonna be a lot bigger. But it is a corridor. And I guess we can use that to kind of separate the sections of the base, but I think we can use some of the dirt over here to start building a little farm and do some other stuff. Anyways, first things first, let's craft a couple more furnaces here so we can actually smelt everything in a reasonable manner and split some of this. I did make some cooked fish fillet to finish off our quest, and now what do we have to do? Make some glass, make some bricks, make some terracotta. Oh, I completely forgot about that. We can make some botany pots so we can finally grow some trees and make some dried kelp. So kelp, clay, clay, and start cooking this up. Let's see, 8, that should be 6 in each. 6 in there, so let's make some clay, make some bricks, and make some dried kelp. And that should finish off all this. Then we do have to make some glass as well. Let me make one more furnace for our glass production. Right here, throw in our sand. And do I have anything burnable? We have a little bit of charcoal. Should be enough for now. And let's wait for that to finish. Now, thanks to the botany pots, that should finish off all of our wood. Now, we still have this guy for fish and bones. We have this one for driftwood, because driftwood is still needed to make a couple of tools, so we can't entirely do away from it. But this wooden strainer was mostly used to make these stone pebbles, but now that we can just go down and mine stone, I don't think we'll need it too much, unless there's a better way to get cobblestone later on. Anyways, now we have our glass, we have our terracotta, we have our bricks, and we have our dried kelp. Now let's see, to actually make this guy, flower pot, looks like this. 3 bricks in a bucket shape. Let's make that, and botany pot is like so. botany pot, and done. And then I believe you have to just stick this guy with a hopper, right? Yes. And we can use a wooden hopper, which is why we will need a bit more of these driftwood here. And we're going to need a bit of wood, which I think we're all out of. Yeah, pretty much all out. Actually, can I use this to remake the... You can, but I don't have enough. So let me craft a tree real quick, and that should give us enough wood to make our first hopper botany pot. So now we can take this wood and make a chest, combine the chest with the driftwood to make our wooden hopper, and then combine this with the botany pot to make a hopper botany pot. And now we could just take this guy and we'll put him next to this guy, like so. Actually, I think this needs to go a little bit higher to actually fit a hopper and a chest underneath it. So we'll put this guy right here, put in a bit of dirt, put in a light blue colored sapling, and you can see it starts to go. It's very slow, but it's fully automatic. And now we can make another wooden hopper. Put him underneath, put this like so, and now if we have a chest underneath that, which will take a little bit more wood, we can automatically collect a ton of wood. And just like that, it's done. Hopper botany pot completed. And that should only leave the smoker, which takes a furnace and full logs, which is pretty easy, and the dried kelp block, and then make some mulch. Can be used in botany plots to slightly increase the growth of crops, can also be grown in a botany pot. So now we can take our dried kelp and make a block of dried kelp. Now I do need a bit more cobblestone. Is that really all the cobblestone we had? We had a little bit more bricks, but I guess that's it. So let me head down and gather some stone real quick, and we'll come back in a second. Alright, there's also tons of clay down there, in places I did not expect. So now we can make a furnace, combine that with the wood to make a smoker. Place this smoker right here, and that's really only good for smelting the food, but now we can make mulch with a bunch of dried kelp and regular kelp. Now, can I burn kelp in a furnace? That's what I was wondering. That's not what I wanted to know. I thought you could do this in a furnace, or was it the dried kelp block? Okay, so the block of dried kelp can be smelted in the furnace, because I remember seeing that a way a lot of people use kelp to automate their furnaces is if you have a really big kelp farm, then you could just burn that in the furnace. I never set one of those up though. I wonder how they work. We are going to need a lot more kelp though to actually sustain this production right here, because this does not look like... Actually, it's just barely enough. Or is it? That gives you an extra one, and this takes 4 pieces of kelp, and we're all out. So I need a little bit more kelp real quick. And I wonder, is there a way to grow kelp in an easier fashion? Because now we can make the mulch block, which we can also grow in our botany pot, but what about the kelp? Can I grow kelp in a botany pot? You can, it just needs a bucket of water. And I think that also finished off all the quests here, which is really nice. Collect everything here. And that gets us to mulching time. Get grass seed, any other seed, wheat, hay bale, a summoning block, collect sandy mulch, can be used in a strainer to collect different ocean drops, which is mulch and sand, but we are going to need a little bit more botany pots. So sadly, it seems like we can't actually use the wooden water bucket to grow the kelp, which is pretty annoying. We'll just have to come back to that once we get iron to make a regular water bucket. What is this for? Summoning. Kelp makes summon cod. Interesting. But now we can grow mulch, which we're going to need to start our stuff. And we also get light colored blue logs and sticks from our hopper botany pot using mulch. This makes things grow 10% faster, which is pretty good. Now I can go ahead and put away that stuff for now. I don't think we'll need it at this moment, but now we can get started with mulching time to see if we can get some of these products. We're looking for bamboo, sugarcane, cactus. I doubt we'll need the sea pickle and the seagrass since we're surrounded by it everywhere, but it'll probably be good to have regardless. So starting with dirty mulch, we just combine mulch with our dirt. Easy enough. Mulch and dirt. Now does this get used up? I'm guessing it does based on the quantity if you look at the strainer. So I'm guessing that dirty mulch will get used up, like all the other stuff in the strainers, and we can get a variety of seeds from using bone meshes I think that's it, bone meshes and copper meshes. So this one has a bone mesh, so if we put the dirty mulch in here, this will start producing seeds for us, which means we do need a place to plant all these seeds. So I think I need 2 more large room keys, or they don't have to be large actually. They could be the regular size for a little farm. And we can start the farm, I think, on this side over here. So let me go ahead and grab all of our keys. Yep, normal room keys that we got from the other thing, and expand it out this way. As you can see, it makes a pretty nice sized room. And we'll start the farm in here. So let's go ahead and grab our dirt. We're also going to need a hoe to till all the dirt, and grab our melon seeds, which I left right there. Grab some sticks. Grab some wood, and where's my cobblestone? Oh, there it is. And make ourselves a little hoe. And now we can make a farm. Now let's see, we do have additionally amaranth, radish, melon, bell pepper, grass, bell pepper, and tomato, and coffee. Crops of the wild. That's the wrong button. Can be used to turn dirt into grass, both. Oh, these are grass seeds. I thought they were wheat seeds. Grown from wheat pot. Wait, grown from wheat seeds cannot be grown in a botany pot. Wait, where's the wheat then? Grass. Making grass. Huh? Wheat. Okay, they share the exact same texture, but they are different, which is annoying. It's a 5% chance. Oh, there it is. I was about to say 5%. We're going to be here for a while, but that is only 1 in 20, which means it was actually pretty likely to happen. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Water will go here, like so. And as long as I wear my diving gear, it shouldn't hurt me to touch it, which is good. But making this farm will pretty much use all of our dirt, so I'll have to go get some more. If only there was a renewable way to get dirt. Is there, though? Oh, we could actually just make dirt from all the leaves. Interesting. Not super renewable or easy to do, but that is an option. It's probably going to be faster just to head down and harvest dirt manually. And I did not count this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, so that should work. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I miscounted on this side, that's why. So this whole room should fit an entire farm. So now we can go ahead and put our wheat. We'll start it in this corner over here. And I'm going to go ahead and say that this was planned because now the melon seeds can grow on this side and put the block right there. No problem. Like so. And we'll plant the rest of this. Tomato, coffee, radish, amaranth, and bell peppers. Bone meal, so we can get the wheat and finish off that quest, because we are pretty close to finishing off that side. And you can't right click it. Oh, you probably have to do it with a hoe, right? No. Interesting. Little annoying. I don't know why more mod packs don't include the mod that lets you just right click so you don't have to replant. But that's probably a design decision they went with. But now we have our wheat, and soon we can make a hay bale. And how does that lead to the summoning block? Oh, because you need a hay bale plus 3 wheat and then some stone to make the summoning block. And then this guy is used to make a variety of stuff. Summon witch, summon rabbit, enderman, chicken, sheep. Pretty much everything we need. Interesting. Summon villager takes a bunch of emeralds. Don't see an easy way to get emeralds though. Now we can also make sandy mulch, which we can throw in the strainer as well to get a variety of our sandy stuff. So let's finish that off real quick. Alright, got the sand. Now if we grab some mulch, we can mix that together, make some sandy mulch, and get our seaside products. Throw this in here. Oh, you're completely full. Let me swap that out. And grab all these seeds. We'll just empty this whole thing. No, we cannot, because my inventory is full now. Let's see. Need to put that in there and make another chest. and throw that in there and store all the seeds. Now, I did see in the quest book we should be coming across a better storage solution pretty soon, so I'm not too worried. Now we're getting bamboo, kelp, cactus, and what else do we need? Sugarcane, seagrass, and sea pickles. And that'll finish that quest off there, which means we can just let that run for a while and it should continue at its own pace. But now we can go to resource gathering and make gravelly mulch to use to get some ores. So now we can combine our mulch, which are gravel, mulch, and gravel to make gravelly mulch. And let's see, we should be able to use this guy over here. Swap you with the gravelly mulch. And why aren't you doing anything? Oh, because his mesh is broken, that's why. Let's go ahead and make a... Do we have access to better meshes at this point? I don't think we do yet. But now we can do that in there. We can still make bone meshes though, which should carry us for a while. Mesh, and I spelled it wrong. Mesh, bone mesh. Put that in here. Take out our driftwood, and now that should start making us some ores. Now, according to the quest book, we're going to be getting a lot of tin and copper, which will then combine into tin and copper ore, which will then break down into raw tin and copper, which will then melt down into tin and copper, and then combine in a blast furnace in order to make bronze. So while we wait on our ores to process, we're going to go ahead and finish growing our wheat so we can make the summoning box thingamajig. And it should be easy. I harvested all of our fish, turned that into bone meal. And how much we're at? 4. Gonna need a little bit of this and a little bit of that to make the full hay bale. But I think we should be good. Let's see, 10 plus, I think we had like 3 in our chest, so that should be everything we need. Sort that out. And grab this wheat. Now make that into a hay bale. Like so. And now we can combine that with the summoning block, and we'll need 5 stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go ahead and do a whole charcoal's worth. And then to make this go a little bit faster, it would probably be better to make a second strainer. That way we can just process more gravelly mulch. Because this is a little slow. If you take a look here, why can't it open? There we go. It looks tomato seed. I don't want tomato seed, I want ores. Where are the ores on this? Ah, here we go. So copper ore piece is a 45% chance. And the tin ore piece is also a 45% chance. So it's pretty slow. But if we have 2 of them running in tandem, that'll double the efficiency pretty much. And now we can grab our stone and make ourselves the summoning block. And finish off that quest line. Now I think the only thing we're missing is sugarcane from here. Let's see here. And there's the sugarcane. So that finishes off the full quest line. And there we go. Quest completed. Now using the summoning block, we can start summoning mobs. Now what mobs we actually need to summon at this point, I'm not actually sure. Like, we don't really need to fight anything. It'd probably be useful to summon like our standard farm animals, like cows, sheep. Oh, we can also summon pandas as well. Interesting. I'm not sure what else we would need. Summon parrot. Like, why do we need a parrot? But I mean, it's there. So I might as well do it. So now we have a good enough supply of our tin and copper pieces, and we can turn these into blocks of ore, like so. Not a ton. And now we can place these down. Why do they sound like that? Like I'm placing down dirt. Oh, because it's gravel ore. And you break it with a shovel. Oh, okay. Oh, and you get a pretty good amount. Because I placed down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you actually get a little bit more. With fortune, it would probably go crazy. So we can now melt this down and melt this down over here to get our first ingots. And then using those, we'll be able to make the blast furnace. So now that we have our ingots, we can go over here, click check mark the blast furnace, and we're missing 2 regular furnaces. That's fine. Go ahead and make those, grab that, and make a blast furnace. Huzzah! Put that over here. And to finish, oh no, we need to make bronze. Unfired bronze is made from 3 copper ingots and a tin ingot. So now if we grab more of our copper here and a little bit of our tin, 1 tin and 3 copper makes unfired bronze. Grab a little bit of our mini coal and turn that into regular coal. How do you turn this into regular coal? Oh, it's missing the middle, that's why. Put that in here and add this to make our first bronze ingot. Ta-da! Quest completed. We also finished out this entire chapter, which rewarded us with a little bit more unfired bronze, amongst other stuff, and gets us into the Bronze Age. So now we can make bronze meshes, which will start getting us iron, nickel, lapis, get us down to eroding salt munch, eroding salt mulch, dust block into lead, into the toxic air curio and the water curio. Allows you to travel in water without taking damage. The charm protects you from toxic air. So now we'll finally be able to breathe the air up above. Alright, so I figured out how to use the warp pipes. You can actually buy a pipe wrench from the... what was this called again? The catalog? Yeah, from the catalog. And you can bind them together. So now this pipe is bound to this one and vice versa. So now when you stand on this guy and hit shift, you teleport to the other one's location, which is really nice. I think I should set up like a whole room for the warp pipes that kind of like extend off of here. That way we can more easily teleport around, especially since right now I need a lot of gravel to make the gravelly mulch. It'll be useful to set one up down at the bottom so I can more easily get down to where the gravel is, because we do have to keep heading downstairs. And I think I found a cave that I can place it at. So let me take this guy and head back down there to the cave, and we should be able to find some more gravel. Now, I found the cave, I believe, down here when I was digging up some gravel, because I could hear the zombies howling. So if we come down over here, yeah, I believe this is where the cave is. Grab our torches. Yep, looks like a prime location here. Pretty small cave by the looks of it. I thought I heard zombies. Okay, you can see all the hostile mobs over there, so there must be something in here, at least nearby. So now if I take this, open up a little hole in the ground, and place our warp pipe, I should be able to teleport nowhere. So let me bind this guy to our warp pipe up in the base by right-clicking this, and now if I left shift on him, we teleport down, and we can go back up. Really nice. This will make harvesting a bunch of this stone a lot easier for making all of our stuff, because I think we'll even need a little bit of diorite, and there's also more dirt down here as well, which should make things go a lot easier. And then to help with exploration, since we found some rotten flesh, I realized you can turn this into bundled flesh, and if we throw this into our drying rack, like so, we can dry this into leather. And as I guessed, we did have sophisticated backpacks available to us, so we can actually craft a backpack. Now we do need a little bit of string, which I have right over here. And once we grab this and combine it with a chest, where's my wood? Wood is over here. We can go ahead and make a chest and make a backpack. But before we get iron, it is going to be pretty small, but it is better than nothing. And I can't believe I didn't realize, you know, it's funny. When I made the hopper botany pot, in my mind I was like, oh, you need the hopper botany pot to enable use with hoppers. That makes sense. And then I realized, wait a minute. No, it's a hopper botany pot, as in you craft it with a hopper and it automatically exports to the inventory below it. Great thinking by me. Now how do I actually put this guy on? And is it B for backpack? No, it's B for waypoint. What's the backpack button? Options, controls, keybinds. Backpack, it is B, but it's also used with other stuff, so let me set that to my mouse button. And there we go. A lot more room for all of our stuff. And now let me sort this out, and we could probably use leather for other stuff. Just useful to know. And I just wanted to make the backpack because there's other monuments, as you could see. We're not going to go to these big ones, because that's obviously going to be a threat, but we can check out littler ones to get some stuff. Like this looks pretty promising. Ooh, now this is a nice and big cave. Takes us all around. Pretty big access to the deep slate layer as well. Although I'm not seeing much underneath in terms of spawners. It's a glow squid. Is that a spawner over there though? No, that looks like just a regular glow squid. Nothing else though, but good to see that there's a big cave nearby that we can check out later if we're in need of some resources. And it looks like this structure is a double spawn, so we can actually get quite a lot of stuff here. We do have to be fast though, because we're probably going to get a lot of drowned, but this one does have a lot of chests that I want to grab real quick. That way we can head start our economy. Yep, grab all of this, grab all of that. See, like an iron sword is really nice to get early. Grab all of this, a lot of room keys, even more room keys and another sword. It's just really good stuff to get early game. Now we don't have to craft. Especially because I think the iron sword is actually a bit better than the bone sword we crafted before, which should set us up pretty good. Yeah, so I think that was a pretty good loot haul. What is a Sailor Blue Tier 2 helmet? Interesting. Don't think I'm going to wear that until I get the curio though. But everything else was pretty good. I like that we found a ton of room keys, because that's going to save us a lot of time having to manually craft those. And I think I'll just use those now. Room topper can be used on the bottom of key blocks to create a nice roof. Wonder what that's going to look like. Let me see. Grab that back. Sort that. Key topper. Because I don't think you can craft this, right? Topper. Oh, you can craft it. Use on the bottom of key blocks. Let's see. Topper. Topper. Well, they're all up there. Well, there's a short one right here. Can I reach that? With a little bit of assistance. Let's see, I want to see what this looks like. Topper. Oh, it does add a little bit of a nice roof. Interesting. And it looks like it opened up the ceiling in some of the other rooms, though. Okay, that was not expected. Luckily, I do have a lot of these blocks available, so I can patch that up. But I did not expect that. Let's see. Light blue colored. Let's see, where'd the hole come from? Oh, right here. Now, let's see. I'm going to use the rest of these corridor keys to really extend this out this way. Like so. Let me remove that. Seems to have a little bit of a weird thing going on. So we can have a pretty long corridor here. That way we have room to expand outward. And we also have these 4 tall room keys. So we can even add some tall rooms off of these to add some more stuff. Just not quite sure what we're going to do with it though. You know what I mean? Like I can add the tall rooms, but what are we going to use them for? I do like seeing it though. It makes base building underwater so easy. Okay, so I have a good idea. We're going to make this a tall room over here. We're going to top it with a nice roof, and we're going to have this room be the storage area for next episode. Because now that we have access to bronze, as you can see here, we can build inventory cables, which take tin, and set up an inventory connector along with a very basic TOM simple storage terminal. That way we can connect a bunch of chests to a single terminal and make our storage a little bit easier to manage, because right now it's kind of all over the place. And not the easiest, but that should start setting us up for some general automation. But I think this episode has gone on long enough. We've accomplished quite a lot. And as always, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.